Welcome to Module 2 of this course, the right way to house grass cutters. In this module, you will be learning how to successfully build an appropriate housing for your animals. Building an appropriate housing for your grass cutters is non-negotiable. The point is this: if you get to build an appropriate housing for your animals from the very first day, you have less challenges in terms of moving them, in terms of expansion. You have less challenges. One challenge I feel that most new farmers have is they build a housing system which is not comfortable and convenient for grass cutters. Then midway to their journey, you see them scrambling, trying to make amends to the cages. And remember that the more when you make amends, for example, if you don't have docile grass cutters yet, when you're making amendments to your cages and the grass cutters are inside there, you're going to be stressing them out a whole lot. So it is very, very important. It is pertinent that from the very first day you decide to start a grass cutter farm, if you have followed the 3 steps on starting a grass cutter farm, which is learning how to successfully breed them, learning how to successfully handle them, and learning how to sell them, that is the first step. Second, which is constructing an appropriate housing for them. And third, which is stocking your cages, your housing with Symbianus species. If you've successfully built an appropriate housing for your grass cutters, it makes your journey easier. So in this particular module, I'm going to show you the types of housing systems that we have in the grass cutter farming industry, the particular one that I suggest, or rather, the particular one that we recommend that you use for your grass cutter breeding program. It is very important that you get this right. It is very, very important that you get it right. Let us dive into the course. This module is going to be a rather not too long module. So let's start. Types of grass cutter housing. There are 3 housing systems for grass cutters. We have the extensive system, we have the semi-intensive system, which is a combination of the intensive and the extensive system. And we also have the intensive system. So these are the 3 housing systems that we have for grass cutters: extensive, semi-intensive, and intensive systems of housing. The extensive system. In this system of production, the grass cutters are reared in ranges of paddock or over wide areas of land with good natural vegetation. An area of 12 square kilometers can be provided for each animal, each family. Plants that can be planted in the paddock include maize, sugarcane, guinea grass, elephant grass, cocoyam, cassava, rice, cowpea, etc. This will make the environment look like their natural habitat. These paddocks must be fenced to secure the grass cutters from predators. This system of production breeds low productivity as the animals are exposed to diseases and predators. It is not recommended in modern day production. It is not recommended in modern day production because of these characteristics that it holds. In this system of production, grass cutters are reared over a wide area of land that will be fenced. Now, in this system of housing, you don't provide shelter for them. You simply build a fencing around them and allow them to roam inside that fencing, which you must have planted natural vegetation like guinea grass, elephant grass, cowpea, maize for them to feed. So they source for their food within that space that you provided for them. You see, one challenge with this particular housing system is that it exposes the animals to direct sunlight. It exposes the animals to cold. It exposes the animals to wind. It exposes the animals to predators. Other animals that prey on grass cutters can simply find a way. If they get wind that these animals live in this particular enclosure, they will simply find a way to that place and devour them. Now, what of humans? Humans who are also predators of these animals can also come around who don't even know that you are breeding these animals and see them and think that they are bushmeat and they will kill your animals. I've had cases like this where some of my some of my customers come out and tell me that some people came into their housing system and killed their grass cutters, thinking that they were bushmeat, without knowing that these animals were actually being bread for either onward selling to breeders or to consumers. I think last week or last 2 weeks, one of my new customers told me that when they were cleaning one of the grass cutter cages, that one of the males was gingering and jumped out. As he jumped out, their dog rushed towards that grass cutter and killed it. You see, even though this was in an intensive system, but this can easily play out in extensive systems where there are nobody to check to where there are lesser checks for predators. In the sense that, okay, take for instance, the man said that when they brought in the animals and put them into their housing system, in the cages and locked them up, the dog started going around the housing. Now imagine if it were an extensive system of production. The dog will simply climb in there and deal with every animal there, you know. So that is it for extensive system. Semi-intensive system. In this system, the grass cutters are kept in a restricted place, like a yard or paddock, and provided with shelter consisting of constructed house or nest or cave located at one part of the yard or paddock. This is a combination, a combo of the extensive and the intensive system, which I'm going to show you after this slide. We bring the characteristics of the features of the extensive system and the features of the intensive system and mix them together. The grass cutter may sleep in the house. Their bedding should be changed regularly with dry grass. Disease infestation is low in this system, and the productivity rate is higher here as compared to the extensive system. It is higher because at least the animals are being protected from direct sunlight, rain, cold, and the predators, because they are being provided with a shelter where they can always run into when there is danger in terms of predators coming around them, or when the rain is falling, or when the sun is too heavy, you know. So this is why it is better than extensive system. The extensive system is not advised. It is not advised because most people think that grass cutters in the wild, they are free rangers, and it is also best to let them roam freely and forage for themselves. That is okay, but in domestication, in captivity, that is not the case. In captivity, they need to be confined to a particular enclosure and provided with the necessities of life. In terms of sex, you provide them with sex, you provide them with food, you provide them with vitamins, you provide them with basically everything they need. By so doing, you can monitor them easily. That is for the intensive. So let's move over to the next slide, which is intensive system. The intensive system is the recommended system of production in modern day grass cutter production. In this system, the grass cutters are confined to a grass cutter building all their life, like I previously said. This is the preferred system for large-scale grass cutter production. The grass cutters are raised in cages or hutches, which are located in the grass cutter building. You see, the intensive system allows for a proper control of the grass cutter environment. It saves labor, it reduces production inefficiency, and reduces the possibility of disease infestation. In the intensive system of production, a pen is built. A pen is an enclosure that houses the cages or hutches of animals. A pen is built, then cages or hutches are built and are built inside the cages. For hutches are built in the cages inside the pen, and cages are brought inside the pen. If you're building with hutches can simply be made with concrete. I will show you how to make the various types of housing system inside this intensive system. So the intensive system is what we recommend you use for your commercial grass cutter breeding program. Why? The reason is because, one, the animals are protected from the elements, which is what we need. Cold is one of the major challenges of grass cutters. Cold, pneumonia, it is one of their major challenges. Most people ask me that in the wild, how do they even, what of the wild that they've been exposed to cold, blah, blah, blah. Yes, in the wild, they are sophisticated in the wild. But if you ever interfere in their program by bringing them home to domesticate, then you should provide them with those basic necessities. Oftentimes, when you see burrows where grass cutters live, you're going to see leaves, foams. These are the things they use to pad up the environment. They are sophisticated in the wild. If you bring them home to domesticate them, you have to provide them with these things. So a pen is built in the intensive system, which is the kudos, and their cages or hutches are built inside. This system helps to better manage the animals. It ensures that there is no much mortality, because with this you limit every system, every avenue through which mortality can come in. You provide them with multivitamins. You provide them with balanced diet, unlike in the extensive system where you simply plant forage for them to go and forage. On the semi-intensive system, where I simply provide a housing for them, and a housing that is not even closed, doesn't have a key. Anybody can walk in there and pick up those animals. These things are bushmeat. They are very sweet to consume, you know. So the intensive system is what we recommend for any grass cutter farmer who intends to start a grass cutter farm. There are several types of, there are 4 ways to house grass cutters under the intensive system. First, or one rather, is the concrete wall cages or hutches. Second is the concrete floor cages or hutches. Third is wooden cages. Fourth is iron mesh cages. The concrete cages or hutches are recommended for commercial grass cutter farming because they are cheaper to build. Yes, they are cheaper to build. That is why we recommend them for commercial grass cutter production. You can use the wooden and iron cages to top up your farm. You can also use the iron cages for a large commercial setup if you can afford to. The idea, unlike me, I use for now the iron mesh cages for housing my grass cutters. The idea is this: I am able to have my welders have a good negotiation with my welders to produce these cages for me at a good price, at an affordable price rather. That is my own major reason for using iron cages. But if I were to, let's say, build a 1,000 or 2,000 colony farm, you can see that I'm not going to be able to use iron cages to house these 1,000 or 2,000 colonies. Yes, I can't be able to house them using that using iron cages. I'll have to use concrete wall or concrete floor cages to do that. That is it for the 4 ways. These are the 4 ways to house grass cutters. Concrete wall cages. You either choose to use the concrete wall cages, the concrete hutches, or concrete floor cage, or wooden cages, or iron mesh cages. But I suggest if you're a newbie, just started grass cutter farming, I suggest you can start with wooden cages. But the backlash to wooden cages is that wooden cages, actually grass cutters, when it gets to their head, they chew wood. So if you're going to use wood to construct your cages, you have to construct it in such a way that the iron mesh that you're going to use is inside rather, while the wood is outside. So that whenever the grass cutters decide to chew the wood, they cannot be able to get access to this wood because the iron mesh is in front, blocking them from having access to it. But by and by, if you're starting a new breeding program, let's say you're starting with 5 colonies, less than 10 colonies, or 20 colonies, I suggest you use iron cages to do that. So next slide, let me show you the different these cages and how they look. Like you already know, this is the concrete wall cages or hutches, so to say. This is in this particular housing system. You can see that these are hutches. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-decker concrete hutches or concrete cages. You see the pen. This enclosure inside here. This inside is the pen, and this is the concrete wall cage. In this housing system, the cages are casted with cement on the wall, and then they use iron, what is it called, rods, either 1 mm or 2 mm to make the gates. But basically, this is made of cement, sand, and that's all. Just get good bricklayers, and they will give you this. This is an awesome way to house grass cutters. This is an awesome way. It's cheap to do. It's very cheap to do. And this is what I suggest if you're going into a commercial breeding program. This is what you should do, because you are going to save a lot of money. You're going to save a lot of money making these cages, unlike the other cages. Unlike the iron cages, a 4-decker iron cage costs between 75 and a 4-decker costs 85,000. 3 decks cost 75,000. But that amount will make a lot of this for you. So that's why I said if you're starting new, you can afford to start with iron cages or wooden cages. Concrete floor cages. You see, in this type of cages, you see that you can do you can make your pen anyhow, But in this type of houses pen, I suggest what this person should have done was to use iron meshes to cover these places. So this is the concrete floor cages. You see, they are built on the floor with concrete, and an opening, a door is placed on the top of the cages. You see, but in this particular place, the grasshopper, if violent and stubborn grasshoppers tend to jump out of this place, now walk, they go run, you know, they might run into these bushes here. But the idea is, if you do this kind of housing system, ensure you put iron meshes, use iron meshes to cover this place, so that when the grasshoppers, eventually they come out here, they will be able to escape. Remember, these animals are not yet domesticated animals, so there are some that are already docile. Even if they jump out and maybe you don't know they go out, within days you see them come back. Some might not come back. Those ones that are not yet acclimatized to your environment, they go through away. You know? Yeah. So wooden cages, yes. You see a wooden cage. This is a wooden cage. This is called a restrainer, used to, or a catcher, a net, catcher made of net, used to handle grasshoppers. If you want to handle grasshoppers without touching them immediately, you can use restrainers. You can use either iron restrainers, iron meshes, or nets. I suggest you use them because this will not really wound your animals, unlike the other one. It might not wound animals too, as for the iron meshes, but I suggest you use it. If you have the iron mesh, that's fine too. So this is a wooden cage. You can use a wooden cage to house your grasshoppers. You can see the grasshoppers inside. You can see iron mesh is used to make some part of the body. This is the opening. They pass their droppings here, and their droppings fall on top of this thing, which is then evacuated in the morning. So that is it for wooden cages. Wooden cages are cheap to build. If you're starting to, you can start with wooden cages. Just get a carpenter to do a clinical job for you. That's all you need. Then iron cages. Yes, this is my favorite. These iron cages. This is Governor Samuel Otom's farm in Benue State. In 2016, I started the governor's farm with 68 colonies. I was also commissioned to supply materials. That's the iron meshes and angle bars used to make this. It was also awesome experience in 2016 getting to meet His Excellency, Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State. And I'm also using this opportunity to send a shout out to him. My Excellency, congratulations on your re-election. So iron cages, these are iron cages. This is a 3-decker iron cage. Okay, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 decks made of iron meshes and angle bars. You see, just get a good welder, get a good negotiation going with him. If he agrees with your price and both of you are okay, should make this for you. You can start with 2, 3, 4 iron cages. A 4-decker iron cage can comfortably contain 20 animals. That's 4 colonies. 1 colony made up of 1 male and 4 females for this place. Another 5 animals here. That's 20. So you imagine you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cages. These 5 cages can contain 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 animals. You see? So that's what I'm trying to say. So if you're starting, I suggest you do that with iron cages or wooden cages, depending on how your pocket is. But if you want to go into commercial breeding, what we mean commercial breeding, we mean a major commercialization of this industry, of these animals. I strongly suggest that you do not even use the concrete floor cage. You use the concrete wall cage. This will save you cost of housing. And housing is one of the, apart from the cost of the breeding stock, housing is another place where there is a lot of cost required. So once you're able to save much money from the housing, you can also put that money into another department of your business. But if you're starting out, either use the wooden cage or the iron mesh cages. There is no big deal to it. So thank you very much for watching, listening to me. I hope that you've learned how to build an appropriate housing for your animals. One thing I am going to give you in this video, you're going to get measurement. I'm going to give you the measurement for these cages. Measurement. So other material for this particular module, I'm going to be uploading a PDF titled How to Construct Iron Cages for your grass cutters. In that particular material, you're going to see measurements for grass cutters and also an in-depth work on how to build iron cages. You see different types of iron cages, different sizes. Simply take those images and show to your welder. If you want my welder to do it for you, no problem. Get across to me, send me an email, send me a WhatsApp chat, and let's get it going. Thank you very much, and in case you have any questions on this module, don't fail to let me know. Use the comment section. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next module.